Coverage you can count on continues with News Channel 15 Sports.
We're calling it a miniature highlight zone tonight because the real season doesn't kick off until next week, but that doesn't mean we can't get a little taste of the pigskin.
Yeah, tonight means scrimmage games all around the state. It gives coaches and fans their first real look at the teams of 2009. And our coverage starts with a preseason battle of the Bishops out at Bishop Darcy Stadium. The Saints D getting on it early. Tony Springman gets the sack, then it's Landon Fichter, the interception, one of two on the night for Fichter. Dwanger's offense looking good. Raymond Wright nearly takes it to the house. That's a 50-yard pickup. He would score 2 touchdowns on the night. Carson Watkins, do a little dance because he caught himself a T-shirt in the stands tonight. Lures would find the end zone on their final offensive series. Kenny Mullen right up the gut, but tonight dominated by Dwanger.
I have to owe it all to the offensive line and the wide receivers. You know, they just did a great job up front, and I just run through the holes.
It doesn't matter who the opponent is or what the result was. It's just, you know, what is your standard for perfection and grade against that.
We're working on starting fast, finishing faster, you know, coming out the gate, ready to work, you know, ready to play, playing Lewis football for 4 quarters, playing, you know, real hard.
We got to really find a way to kickstart our kids into getting out of the gate fast, you know, like a horse race. Get to the lead now instead of wait until the end. But, you know, give Dwanger some credit. They're going to be a good football team.
Dwanger open at Southside West. Lures host Snider.
All right, speaking of Snider, over at Walter Memorial Stadium, Panthers and new coach Kurt Tittman facing Homestead. Snider gets the ball first. Tyler Bobilia to Josh Whistler for the touchdown. Coach Russ Isaacs, former coach, I should say, Russ Isaacs, says, you know, we used to run that back when I was doing it. How about Homestead? First possession for them, Zach Terrell taking over for the graduated Logan Laughlin, hits Connor Price deep into territory, but they wouldn't score on that possession with the Spartans. Chad Zolman not happy about that. Short yardage situations tonight. Zach Barnes was awesome. 2 touchdowns for the fullback. And Homestead will play Huntington North at Huntington North next week, while Snider will be at Lures, as you said.
Well, speaking of the Vikings, they were at Northside at Chambers Field tonight on the Redskins' first possession. It's Jamarcus Smith, the quarterback, taking it in himself for the score. But Huntington North, they would also answer on their first possession. Senior running back David George, virtually untouched on the 15-yard touchdown. We move to some short yardage situations. That's Smith to Javante Johnson powers his way in for the touchdown. And then Huntington North's Austin Shoemaker, he answers with a touchdown of his own. As Glenn said, the Vikings will host Homestead next week while the Redskins travel to Concordia.
All right, down at Bob Worthman Stadium, the reigning 3A state champs. You gotta love it. Belmont taking on Jay County Braves, breaking in co-head coaches to replace Tony Bergman. Jay County first on offense. Will Belmont's Will Bussey, part of the old Bussey clan from Decatur, gets the interception. New quarterback for Belmont, Forrest Fullenkamp. I said this a little while ago. Run, Forrest, run. You're going to hear it every Friday night.
A box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get with Belmont. Nick Hall, he was out, but Riley Hankinson picked up the slack. 2 rushing touchdowns early for him. Belmont looking good. They're going to play at Woodland next week to open it up. Well, moving on to college football. For most programs, 12-1 is a pretty good record and a good reason to celebrate. At St. Francis, it's just another ho-hum season for the Cougars. The Cougs making it to the national semifinals last year. Today, they opened up camp with 2-a-day practices. Kevin Donnelly's program returns one of the best running backs in the entire country, senior Daniel Carter, and he doesn't want to leave campus without a title.
I don't think it's a big focus for just me. I think it's a big focus for everybody. I mean, ultimately, that's always our goal. Whenever we step foot on the field, whenever we start up, it's always been, okay, what do we need to do in order to get to the national championship?
We had some areas of deficiency a year ago because of injury and graduation and circumstance. And, I think we've replenished those, and I think, on paper, it looks pretty good.
For more on the Cougars, check out the sports page on our website, wayne.com.
Colts hosting their preseason opener. Peyton Manning, new head coach Jim Caldwell and company taking on the Vikings down at the Luke. Minnesota would strike first. Chester Taylor's going to take the handoff. He's actually going to drag Gerard Powers into the end zone with him. Vikings up 7-0. Manning would come in for a series, but not a good one. He gets sacked on the first play by Ray Edwards He was actually sacked 3 times in his only series. Top draft pick, though, Donald Brown out of Connecticut, nearly breaks this one. Takes it for about 40 yards that lead to a field goal. Former Boilermaker Curtis Painter comes in. He was 10 of 17 for 77 yards tonight, but the Vikings get the win 13-3, the final.
They did get a good look at Painter tonight. Up in Michigan, TinCaps finishing up their series with the Great Lakes Loons. Game tied at the bottom of the 8th. Loons push one across to win 6-5. TinCaps return home tomorrow. It's Wayne TV night at Parkview Field with yours truly throwing out the first pitch. So, again, you'll be scattering from behind the home plate area at about 6:45.
Warm up the shoulder. Finally, second round of the PGA Championship. Tiger Woods coming in with a 1-stroke lead. 3 players would actually share the lead with Tiger today, but in the end, it's Woods all alone atop the leaderboard. Tiger with a 2-under-70. He takes a 4-stroke lead into tomorrow's round, which you can catch right here on Wayne TV starting at 3 o'clock. And just a note, Tiger's never lost a major when he's been leading after 36 holes.
He's got a future in this game of golf if he sticks with it. Of course, we'll have a real highlight zone, the full thing next week. We're going to be throwing out shirts this year. We got 1,000 of them, so if you don't get one by the end of the season, you're not trying hard enough. Also, go to our website, wayne.com. You can sign up for a $50 gas card, courtesy of Marathon. We'll hand those out every Friday night. And also, there's a $1,000 college scholarship you could win, courtesy of Schematic here in Fort Wayne.
As Mark says, come with us. Come zoning.